doing that, just about 2 miles up from up here, they actually came upon bone fragments and potteries and clays that they had found. They then went and have these bone fragments carbon dated. Come to find out that these bone fragments were traced back as far back as 700 AD. Those were the original Lucayan Indians that inhabit these islands. You see, Christopher Columbus never really founded these islands. Okay? Now, there are actually 7 villages here on the island of Grand Bahama that these Lucayan Indians lived. And these Lucayan Indians, they were a very primitive race of people. They lived between, they were family orientated. They lived closely together. And what they did was they would live in between the beaches and the hard land corpus. They did a lot of fishing in between these mangroves right here. It was said that between 700 and 1,000 of them would live right in this specific village right here. So if you could imagine these Lucayan Indians, they would be propped up around these roots during the morning time and the evening time, and they had their little spears, and they would use this specific river right here to do their fishing. Then they would go into the hardland coppice where they would actually do their huntings. Okay. Now there were specific type of manatees that would inhabit these islands during those times too. Big manatees that they would eat, and there were dolphins and whales they would eat, and various fish and conchs that you're going to various differently see. Now, but just to give you an idea of what would inhabit these areas. But these mangroves, the Indians would call them the walking tree. Okay, these trees serve a very distinct purpose on these islands and anywhere they are. Not only to the land itself and the ecosystem, but also to the aquatic life here. Okay? Now, when fish and other aquatic life decide that when they decide that they're gonna have babies or whatever, their eggs and lay their eggs, they can't lay it in the open ocean. So what they do is they come into these mangrove area, and they lay their eggs. And upon laying their eggs then will float up into these mangroves, and they're protected from the mangroves from other big predatorial fish. See, because if they lay them right out in the open in the ocean, the water just floats them around, and other predatorial fish will just eat them. So this serves a very important purpose for that. And then what the fish would actually do, they would actually stay here until mid-teenage years, or if we were allowed to say that. You know what I mean? They stay here within that time, and they grow and they feed around here. From then here they move out, and the first place they would move is out into the reef. Second to the reef. They would stay around in the reef area, and they feed and they grow and they grow and they grow until they get too big for the reef. And from then to the reef, they goes into the ocean. So when any big industrial company, any developer would come into these places and they would see these beautiful beaches and these mangroves, they think about this big multi-million-dollar casino they can put here. You understand me? And a lot of person didn't understand the importance of these areas. So now this guy comes in here and he makes this proposal for certain amounts of billions and millions of dollars, and the government decides to sell him this land. So here now as he comes here with these dozers after purchasing the land, and he yucks up all of these mangroves. When he does that now, he turns this into some concrete jungle. Right? So now, where does the fish them live? Where do they breed? You understand me? They come in here now, they start pumping pollution into the water. And so this is the reason why you go into these big metropolitan cities. And when you put your hand into the water and you pick up the water's all black. When you go and fish, you spend 2 to 3 hours before you can catch a fish, and when you catch the fish, he's this size. You understand me? These are very, very important. These mangroves are very, very important. Now, not only that, to the aquatic life. These mangroves are called land builders. What these trees are doing, each distinguished kind of mangroves has the importance. The red mangroves, their job is to do, this is what they do. They walk into the water. You see their prop roots? They're going to walk into the water and they're going to intertwine their roots, and they can intertwine their roots over hundreds and hundreds of years. as the water, as the tide goes up and down, goes in and out, the debris, it's going to catch all the debris. You see all that debris and all that dirt? This is why I told you guys to notice that the swampy like marshland when we came in. It's going to build and build and build until it's going to get all mucky, mucky, mucky over periods and hundreds of years after the debris comes in from the tide and the leaves and all that. The sand is going to wash in here. And now the water is going to get so thick that the water's not even going to be able to flow. So now all you got is a bunch of mucky like land. That's the job of the red mangroves, to walk into the water and build that land. Then the black mangroves are going to move in. The black mangroves are straight upward. The black mangroves are going to send up millions and millions and millions of those black mangroves all through that mucky land. Then the black mangrove job, his job then is to suck out as much salt as that tree could possibly get out of that mangrove area. The salt is then going to decompose the skeletal remains of that tree. The skeleton remains is going to decompose inside of that muck, and that's going to stabilize that mud even more. So now that mud is nice and hard. Millions and millions of them have already popped up. They said to decompose, other ones going to then grow up because all of the salt is not out of the water yet, out of the muck yet. After that's done, then the white mangroves are then going to move in. The white mangroves, their job is to then come back in and they pump fresh water back into that earth. And as the white mangroves pump the fresh water back in, now we've got nice hard like land. Done. All that limestone and because all this debris is all limestone and sand and coral and all these stuff. So now you've got that hard rocky coppice like land. Water, fresh water pumping in. Now, then you're gonna have the Ming tree moving, the Tatch palm moving, and then the pine trees moving, and now we got our land built. The red mangroves are then they're gonna walk in to the water, out to more to the beach. These trees are grasping for the ocean more and more and more. That's why the Indians call them the walking tree. And the way they work, you see that would look like disease on the tree. These trees cannot breathe in the water. So when you see those little fine holes, what look like holes around the roots, they're actually sending water down, sending oxygen down into the roots, so the trees can actually live into this water. And then they're also sucking out as much salt as they possibly can. And this is what the buildup is in that on around these trees. Okay, so these trees are very important to the eco life, to the wildlife, and to the economy of the Bahamas. So this is why we have to save them. Okay, family? Just thought I'd give you a brief little knowledge of these, and everything that I told you guys, I am going to be showing you stage by stage as we go. I'm going to show you the black mangroves. I'm going to show you the process, how they do it, how they grow up in there, how they stabilize the land. I'm going to show you the white mangroves, how they come in and pump the water in with the Ming trees. They're going to verify that fresh water is there now. I'm going to show you the holes where the crabs them dig, and they show you and they're going down and searching into there. Everything I'm going to show you guys this. Family, let's just move on. We are going